Hey guys, this is Brett Jarnigan from Life Camera Actions, here to give you a quick demo of the Vintage Touch Actions. I'm a huge fan of photographs that have that rough kind of vintage feel. I think it adds a lot of character to the photographs, and it's a really cool effect that clients love too. The Vintage Touch Actions include 23 textured actions and 50 actions overall. The really cool thing about the textures in this is that they act so fast. They're literally one click, paint off the skin tones to get rid of the texture, and it's done. So let's go ahead and open up a few images and take a look. All these images have already been balanced out in the Life Camera workflow, and you can watch videos on that. But for right now, let's go ahead and jump in and try out a couple textures. There are so many in here, and they are so fast. It's one click, and then you just go in and paint off the skin tones. It automatically selects the brush for you. All you need to do is make sure your opacity is at 100%, and it's done. So there's our before and after. And you can combine these with other textures if you want. You can keep adding layers and layers of depth. There are tons of them on here that look really, really good, and they're quick. Here's our before and after. And what's neat about these is that there's also a color cancel, so if you don't like the tone that it puts on it, you can click that on or off. You can also come down to lighter or darker. Usually you don't have to mess with those, but just in case you want to change up the image a little bit, you can darken it down or lighten it up as you see fit. Let's go ahead and run another one. Let's go Plaster of Disaster, hit play, erase it off. Very cool. So the textures are great. I know you're going to love those. And definitely check out the texture pack because there are so many more textures in there. And if you like these, you're definitely going to like those. Awesomeness is this is just getting into the regular actions. I use this one on a ton of my photographs. Really just kind of pops the colors and gives a neat warm tone. Eggshells is another one you're going to like. And you can change the opacity on these to whatever you see fit. 50 years adds, obviously, 50 years to your photograph. 100 years. And I'd make 200 years, but archival prints are only rated for 100 years and not going to last that long. You can run Polaroids. There's all kinds of different effects in here. And you can check out our website to see more of those effects. Right now, let's go ahead and open up another image. And for this, I would probably start out with something like Toasty. This is one that is really strong at 100%, and you're probably not going to want it at 100% very often. I'd probably take it down to about 50%, and then go up and run 50 years. And dial that down a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. And you can get any combination of actions in here that you want. Add some antique toning. And then we can take a look at our before and after. That's with just a few clicks. And you can always go back and add a texture after you've run all your other actions. And it gives it a nice muted color. I'd probably kick off the color since we already did so many other actions. And there you go. Or you can take it a whole different direction. We can start from scratch and run. Let's go with warm fade. Dial that down a little bit. And maybe Strawberry Fields. Kind of a different look. And like I said, you can mix and match. Find something that you like. There are tons of actions in here, and I'm sure you're going to find plenty of them that you're going to love and use. I still like to mess around and play with different ones. There's some black and whites in here that make really dramatic black and whites, and I think they look great. Another action I like to use is, oh, whoops, wrong thing, Blue Pulaski. It's pretty cool. And Memories. All right, let's go ahead and open one more image real quick. There we go. Just because these are called vintage touch actions doesn't mean you can't get modern effects out of them. Really, I think vintage is becoming the new modern style, but there's so many more things you can do with these than just vintage looks. So let's go ahead and run awesomeness on this one. It's going to pop our colors. I mean, that's already a huge difference. I'd go ahead and run a texture on that. Plaster makes perfect. Paint it off the skin tones. Make sure your brush is on white. There we go. And I probably darken that up just a little bit. You can come down. There's a lighter and darker layer, so you can slide that over a little bit. And if you don't like how dark it gets on the subject, you can just switch to black and paint over their skin. So I really like that a lot. Let's go ahead and jump to another image and show you some of the really funky things you can do with these actions. There are these retro effects that are textures mixed with kind of these gradient retro colors, and let's check out Berry Retro Black and White. Probably the most complex action I've ever written. Goes through a ton of steps really quick. Just come in, paint off the texture from the skin, and you can come up here and dial that down a little bit if you think it's too overpowering. I really like it like that. And again, with these actions, they are left open so you can go in and see what things are called and make adjustments as you see fit. So let's bring this over a little bit. You can see this is highlight recovery. So I'd say maybe it's a little too bright on the skin. So let's paint some back. There we go. And I'll do more tutorials on these actions and how to get the most out of them. But for the most part, they just work. They're one click, and they give you really cool effects really quickly. So that's a quick little overview of the Vintage Touch actions. There are so many textures and actions in here, I just don't have time to show it all in one video. But if you go over to our website at lifecameraactions.com, you can see more samples and pick these bad boys up so you can start getting your vintage on. So thanks again for watching, guys. This is Brett Jarnigan, and see you next time.